Okay, we are going to discuss assets now. Okay, in the real world, in the business, in the usual world, you have seen financial assets of that company, financial assets of a person, and all those things. That asset and CBIL asset has nothing in common. Okay, if there is something common, we'll figure that out later. But for all practical purposes, for our discussion, they are two different things. Please forget that asset. Financial assets of a company, financial asset of a person, that is nothing like CBIL asset is totally different. In CBIL, when a product is when a, see okay when a product is ordered, then after that order is complete and done, then we might have to provide, the company might have to provide the service on that product. For example, Dell, when they sell you laptop, right, when they sell the customer a laptop, they might have to provide support on that laptop to that customer. Is it right?
So how we have done our monthly fee or
so on every purchased product, we'll have to provide that asset. Now I have a question for you, very interesting. Okay, let's say a company is selling laptops. Okay, so the rep is selling product called as Inspiron 1400. Okay, when he's, let's say there are 1 lakh laptops they have 100,000 laptops in the inventory of Inspiron 1400, right? When the service when the rep is entering the product as part of the order, will he be entering the specific product out of the inventory, or will he be saying just this person is buying Inspiron 1400? This is a question I have. He will be entering Inspiron 1400, just generic name, or he will be buying the specific product.
general?
See, the sales cycle is like this. He enters the accounts, then he enters the opportunities, professional, then he enters the professional or the contacts, then the rep enters the opportunity, then finally he enters the order, right? Is it right? When he's entering the order, he will be mentioning as part of the order, right, what product is he purchasing, what product is the customer purchasing, right? When he puts the product name, when he puts the products or the product line items, by the way, line items means in an order there are multiple products, right? As part of one order, the customer will be buying multiple things, right? Multiple products, right? Or will he be buying only one product in one order? When you go to Walmart, how many products do you buy?
As many
As many as. So each and every product in CBIL world or in generic business world is called as line item. So if you see a receipt, if you see there are 50 products that you bought today, there are 50 line items. If you have bought 2 brush, that means there is 1 line item. Quantity is 2. So you have bought 2 products, but line item is 1 item. Okay, there is 1 line item. So this is the whole fundamental. There is nothing else in line item. Line item is nothing but a product plus its quantity. And I think all the invoices are made like that, right? They don't say the brush again and again. I think in Walmart they say the brush again and again.
Because you have the quantity box and
there are 2 ways of putting the line items. That means if you can mention the product and the quantity, or you can mention the product and again the same product again, right? Whatever they like, but that is what line item means. Okay, every line item, every line of purchase product is the line item. Okay, but so after, this is where the sales rep enters a product, right? When he is entering the product, will he be mentioning the exact, that instance, that particular laptop that the person is looking for, or he will be basically mentioning Inspiron 1400? For example, this is a farm application. Will the sales rep be mentioning the exact tablet that the person will be taking, or just he will mention the name of the tablet, like he will say Anacin and then Anacin 5 pack, or he will say the exact pack that we are going to give it to him? Just tell me out of these 2. See, I am mentioning the name of the product. You can enter the specs also, but how many laptops will be there in the inventory with the same specs? Yes. With the same name? Yes. So I'm not saying name and specs. I'm saying that specific instance of the product. Let's say there are 1 million laptops lying in their inventory. Will we be mentioning the laptop lying on that corner in that shelf, or will he be just mentioning Inspiron 1400? And the person who is shipping the order, he will just pick one of the 1 million laptops and send it.
Yeah, we just mentioned the model number or whatever, anything referred to that product.
Yep.
And it could be better for the inventory and share.
Yes, and even if there are 500 such model numbers, same everything with the same spec, then which one will he mention in the order?
He doesn't need to mention.
He doesn't need to mention that specific product. He will mention only the model number, type, whatever the subtle details, he will mention the exact detail, right? But after he mentions that, it will be the product only. He will not mention the exact specific thing. Okay. Now let's say,
No, if the quantity is more,
perfect. So he will enter the model number. He will mention each and every details which makes it a unique item. But if there are 500 such items, he will not mention the exact item.
Yes.
Right? He will mention the. He cannot say just give him a laptop. Which laptop, which model, whether it, which hard drive, to how much RAM, everything. But if there are 2 laptops of that thing, then he will not mention which laptop out of those 2. Right? It doesn't matter. He will just mention the product information in the order to the last detail.
Yeah.
But he will not mention which specific product instance, exactly which laptop, right? Let's not talk about laptops. It becomes, because it has to be configured and all. Let's talk about projectors. Projector, you mention the model number, deal is done. That's it. Right? So if you mention the model number, which model and which projector he wants, done. He doesn't have to mention anything else. Out of 5 million projectors lying in the inventory, in the stock, the person who is shipping, he will just pick one and send it. He will not see which one. But now comes a $1 million question. When the person has bought the laptop, the projector, he takes it to home and everything is good. After 2 weeks, he faces some problem in the projector. When he calls, he will call, right? He'll say, I bought this laptop, this projector from you guys. The model number is BenQ MP620P. Okay. So, and there is a problem in that. Okay. He will give his model number. So then the rep will say, okay, that's fine. He will locate the exact product that he bought, right? Then he will look at the details. Then he will provide the service, right? Right? At that point, he will provide the service to him. He will basically enter the service record that this is a problem. He'll basically, he's providing the service now. So he'll enter the service request. The service request information will be put against the product or the specific product.
Specific product.
You are saying that he will look in the order, go to the order,
Yeah.
and look at the product, right? And then he will fetch the product name, and then he will enter the service request against that product. That's what you said, right?
yes.
But that product that he's entered is not a specific product. So that's my question. Will he enter against that product or something else? It has to be entered against something else, because that product record in the order or the line item in the order is not that specific thing that he purchased. So there are 2 things now we see. One is the model number, which just tells you a general category, but it does not tell you the exact instance, that physical thing that he has. So when he's entering the service request, the rep is entering the service request, he will be entering it against that specific product, that specific instance, or he will be entering it against that product that he purchased. That is a question. You answered it. That's fine. I want to.
It's the same model.
So specific instance is spelled like this. This is what I mean, right? And it will be against that specific instance. Okay,
Yes.
right? That specific instance is called as asset, and in Siebel it is called as asset. That is the asset. So service request is logged or entered against the
Specific instance.
called as
Asset.
asset in Siebel. Okay.
So it's launch you think, right?
Yeah. So very important thing which Zulfi reminded me. See, every product in the inventory has a specific SKU, stock keeping unit. Did you guys know that?
Yes.
Is it for every instance of the product, or is it for every model number of the product? In case of projector, if you take,
Model number.
it's for every different model. If you are selling two projector as a package, then that will be having a different SKU, because that's a different product now, because you are selling it as a package, right? If you are selling 6-pack of Pepsi, that will be having a different SKU. Single bottle of Pepsi will be having a different SKU. By the way, the price should be entered for the SKU or for the product, or for the every bottle. In this example, in the case of Pepsi, there is a 6-pack Pepsi, there is a single pack Pepsi. You'll be entering the price for that single pack and the 6-pack separately, or you'll just mention the price separately, because 6-pack will be having a different price, right? And when you are giving deals and discounts, you'll be giving it against the SKU or giving it against the right? So all these separate things, whatever needs to have a separate SKU is entered as one product in Siebel. Okay, so I said it, I call it one product or six products. That's not the right way. I'm sorry. One manufactured entity or six manufactured entities. Whatever you provide as a package will be going as a separate SKU. So in this case, there are two separate products. So two separate SKUs. So that means there are two separate products as far as Siebel is concerned. But how many assets will the company be manufacturing? Maybe 10 million single bottles.
Yeah.
20 million 6 packs, 24 packs, 100 million, I don't know, but they are all assets, right? We'll see why a company needs to have assets, why a company does not need to have assets. By the way, Pepsi does not need to have assets, but projector company does need to have assets. Reason is this. When you were not here, let me discuss. So every package or everything has to be set up as a separate product in Siebel. For example, 6 pack of Pepsi, 24 pack of Pepsi, 12 pack of Pepsi, one single bottle of Pepsi, there will all be 4 different parts in Siebel because they are supposed to have 4 different SKUs. Rule of thumb is whatever has a different SKU in the real world, that will be a separate product in Siebel, right? Although a manufactured entity will be one bottle at a time, or they manufacture 6 packs together. No, right? They manufacture one bottle at a time. They basically manufacture the soda, each atom at a time. But that's not how we think. Whatever they sell, whatever their packages are, they will be set up as separate products in Siebel. But right? And we know that they all will be having different SKU. You know what is an SKU? Can somebody tell me the full form of SKU? It stands for stock keeping unit. SKU, right? And frequently they'll be having a different serial number also, right? SKU thing has been there in America for the last 70 years, 80 years, 90 years since they have been manufacturing. Even when they were working on paper, they used to use SKU to identify each and every product that they are selling.
You have to identify.
Right. It's used in gas stations also. It's used in everywhere. Walmart is using that. Everybody has to have an SKU, and that's how they remember the products and the prices. If the VP is sitting in the Walmart Bentonville apartment in an office, he was going to design the price of Pepsi bottle and 6 pack of Pepsi at every Walmart location. He will enter it in his system, and next day it will get enforced. That will be the price, right? He will mention it for each and every SKU. He will not just mention it for one bottle of Pepsi and it will get, the prices of 24 and 6 and 12 pack of Pepsi will get automatically calculated. This will not happen. What will happen is for every product he will mention it separately. Is it right? Okay. Then going forward, but for projector, let's come back to projector. There was one thing that we were talking before you were not here. That which kind of companies do need to have assets? See, Pepsi does not need to have assets as such. If you see, when they sell, it's gone. They consume it, it's forgotten. Nobody comes back and says, I bought one bottle of Pepsi, I need some service on that. What kind of service do you want, sir? The cap is not fitting. Can you please fit the cap on it? So there is no service idea as far as consumer goods are concerned. So consumer goods industry uses very little of this assets functionality. But consumer goods has electronics like TV, like telephones, they might be needing assets.
Oh, all the time. Yeah,
all the time, right? You might have to call them and say, my TV, this thing is not working. But today electronics has evolved to a point that once they sell the TV, they know that no problem will occur.
Yeah,
generally nothing occurs. And so they also are trying to avoid, making a system and having processes, doing some work is always costly. So they try to avoid asset functionality too. So that's why they give you free. If you don't like this thing, they say just return it and take something else. You see the reason what they're trying to avoid? Yeah. They're trying to avoid asset functionality, because if they have to provide service on that microwave oven that you purchase for $40, they'll have to spend $60 to provide you service. That says just return it, take it back, right?
Oh, so
take a new one back.
They don't even say return. Just take another one.
Just take. Oh really?
Yeah.
They're trying to avoid. Sometimes when you call companies, they say don't even return the stuff, just take a new one. You know why? Because they're trying to avoid RMA functionality, return merchandise order, authorization orders. They're trying to. They don't have any process. They say just take a new one. That's it. So they are not doing any returns. They just enter a new order, put the price as 0, get it over with. Okay? Yeah. So they are avoiding these functionalities, RMA functionality and all those things. Anyway, so asset is, but some companies just cannot avoid assets. Can you think of some company which has to have asset information with them? Whatever the customer has purchased, they have to keep track of what he purchased, exact instance he purchased. Can you think of some company? They keep getting, so Dell company has to keep track of each and every computer
Because they have a different number for each.
Perfect. Anything else?
CS.
Which product do they sell? Which product do they sell?
What's that? What did you say?
Which product of Sears?
Of Sears? What Sears?
Yes.
Oh, the Sears store?
Yeah, but which product is we have to say? Like, for example, you said Dell laptops, right? So you can tell me the exact product.
Furniture, TVs. Anything that may
Camcorders.
require a service in the future.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect.
Not like clothes or.
Yeah. Exactly. Aeroplanes, insurance company. They have to provide a lot of support to you. Every month they bill you against the product that you purchased, the insurance, right? Let's pick a very interesting business like Nestle. Okay, in Nestle they sell consumer goods mostly, but they might be selling some bigger things against which they will provide the service. Let's pick some other interesting business like directory business like Yellow Pages. They have some interesting products. They sell you listing, right? If you look at the Yellow Page, then the front cover, they sell the listing of the front cover, back cover, fourth page, fifth page, big. So that's their products, right? That's their products, right? That's what they sell. They might have to provide service against those products. For example, one of the services, sir, your product is, and they have to bill every month, right? So service and billing, anything basically can drive this thing. Whatever you have to provide against the sold product, you have to, you have to remember that you sold this thing and you have to keep remembering it. That means that's an asset. So sometimes it's for service, you're providing service, sometimes it's for providing billing, right? I'm sorry, I didn't bring the billing portion before. There could be other things which could be driving why that product should be maintained as an asset. Service and billing, I can think of two things. There could be multiple other things, okay? We'll see what all. But billing is one thing that we see. So in case of insurance also, billing is getting important. So every month you have to bill. In case of ads, you have to provide insurance, you have to provide bill. You have to send a bill to the customer, right? Every month or every year or every 6 months, saying that your ad is appearing in our directory. Could you please? Similarly, let's pick a very interesting business like, let's say, Yahoo. So Yahoo has products like, I'll show you some of the products of Yahoo. Do you see something being sold here by Yahoo? Yahoo is somebody is paying Yahoo for something here. Can somebody tell me?
The car thing.
Yeah. So this GMC.com is paying them a lot of money for this ad. These guys are paying Yahoo personal. Well, that's their own ad. But these slices of heaven, these guys might be paying all of these to Yahoo for their advertisement here. Yahoo sells advertisement boxes, right? Do they need to remember who is given you this advertisement today? For how much time? When will it expire? Right? They have to maintain asset not only for billing, not only for service, but also for reselling. That becomes their available product. Otherwise, the product is not available, right? If GMC expires on April 1st, this ad is supposed to be expiring on April 1st, 2007, then somebody should start selling this product on January 1st, 2007, so that within 3 months they find somebody who can pay them 500 million. Do you know how much they might be charging this ad for?
For this space?
Yeah, for this.
More than 5,000 every week.
I just know that like Alta Vista was paying $100 million to Hotmail.com for 1 year.
For 1 year, yeah.
So $100 million for 1 year comes out to be a lot of money. That's one of the companies. Forever they put their ad.
Their ad was there.
Their ad was there on Hotmail.com.
On the home page.
For Hotmail.
Yeah,
they're paying $100 million for a year. That comes out to be approximately $500,000 a week. That's a lot of money. Okay, so they pay a lot of money for these ads. That comes out to $200,000 a week because they're 52 weeks, right? So anyway, that's a lot of money. That's what we realize, right? It got to be $2 million every week. Yeah, they were paying like $2 million every week. Every week. And it was, and in the yearly package, not in a weekly package. In a yearly package they were paying. Okay, so $100 million is a lot of money. So you see what kind of money we are talking about. So if somebody does not sell it, resell it, when this space becomes available, we're talking about a lot of loss, right? They have other things also that they sell. If anybody has noticed that, let's see that. We go to yahoo.com, maps. I will go back to original one. I don't like this new one. So let's say you search for this location 37214, and if you want to search for, let's say, pizza place nearby.
तो डॉक्टर पेपर की भी ऐड आई थी.
You don't click on all restaurants.
वो देखो ना ऊपर heading में.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sold that also.
See, if you go to, let's say you want to find a Pizza Hut, pizza. So let's say you want to find this. These are also paying these money.
Yeah,
These are called as sponsored links.
Yeah.
So these sponsored links are also paying money to Yahoo. These are the ones which are free, but rest everything is paid. So so one these probably you can sell as many of these as you want. Yahoo can sell as many of these as there is not only one page. They can sell maybe 20 of these. Again, if there is more people who want to have sponsored links here, they can sell more. Right? Is it right?
Yeah.
So that's an asset record. But you still need to remember that this particular ad, I have to bill him every month. This is what I have to bill the customer every month. The sales rep needs to remember that. Not the sales rep, but company Yahoo. Plus, they also have to remember that they have to renew this ad. So there is a lot of work going on around what they already sold. Whenever there is a lot of work involved, so billing is one thing we nailed, service is one thing we nailed, service and support is one thing we nailed. Third thing we nailed is if you have to resell that product. So your internal processes depend upon that, right? Is it right? So if you have to renew that ad or something like that. So that's again billing, I don't know, contract. There is a contract that you have to rewrite, things like that. Then you have to basically remember that you sold this. So anything, so all these things will basically be serving as will be written as, will be logged as assets in the Siebel system. Okay? And when a product becomes an asset, okay, what can you use the SKU number now? No, you cannot.
Yeah.
You have to use another number.
Yeah.
Like Dell uses another number called a service tag number. If you guys, any of you has a Dell laptop, I would encourage you to look beneath. There is a service tag number. That's a unique number for every laptop they ever sold.
Actually,
Not for all the models. It's not a unique number for model. It's a unique number for every laptop, each and every laptop they ever sold. And when you are calling them, they will provide you service against that. This asset record is obviously linked to the model, to the order that you placed. Of course, the dates and everything came from there. Your contractual obligation, let's say as part of the order you bought 3-year service, then it will get attached to the asset. And on this asset will provide a 3-year service. Is it right? So all these contractual obligations, they all come there. Is it right? Right? So contract is attached to the order, or it is attached to the asset. The contract.
Here is attached to the order itself, not to the assets, because the asset in case of Dell is configurable. So here is attached to the order itself.
See, but what are the salient features of contract? So salient features of contract is that for 1 year I will take your call, and I will address only the thing that you purchased, nothing else. So I would say it is attached to the asset, not to the product or the order. If you ask me, okay, one more thing, why it is definitely not order? Because let's say he buys 3 laptops. Will there be 3 contracts or 1 contract? There will be 3.
Can be 3 contracts.
There will be. See, in general, I will put it as 3 separate contracts, right? Let's say he buys 3 laptops. If you sign 1 laptop, 1 contract, 2 break after 2 days. Then obviously the new contract will come into place for those 2 laptops only. For the first one, the previous contract should be valid. So the way it should be handled is we'll be having 3 contracts for 3 different laptops, right? Right. So for order, we cannot really sign a contract. So it basically proves that contract is a property of the asset, right? There is a model called a Siebel service, which is all about service requests, providing services. You usually provide services against the assets only, right? Right, and one of the important things of assets is their service tag number, the number of entitlements. That's and the contracts. The second thing is contracts, which is very important as far as asset is concerned. Other thing that is important is as part of the contract, what the customer is supposed to get. For example, customer is supposed to get 50 calls free. What is your contractual obligation with Dell? Can you make as many calls, or can you make only limited number of calls? If you buy a laptop from them.
Yeah, it depends on your service contract. If the regular one, they just accept any number, but it depends what they can provide you. Again, is that service contract. You know, they're going to send you.
But when you buy a laptop these days, what kind of, like, what is your obligation? What is their obligation to you? Do you remember? They usually send 1 year, 2 year agreement.
Yes.
As many calls as possible. You
Yeah.
can call as many times. You can call day and night every day.
It's always, with them, it's always hardware, not software. We don't cover software at all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But anyway, so
They
1
will
year,
sign for
yeah. But 1 year, 2 year agreement. Well, let's talk to entitlements. I just want to keep it to the entitlements because we are in the entitlements now.
Yeah.
So as part of the entitlements, your obligation will be 1 year. So that is your entitlement. Sometimes in case of some products or some assets, not Dell, but some companies do that. You can make 100 calls. So somewhere I see an entitlement record that these are he will get 100 calls, right? Then sometimes the entitlements are very complex. Like he will get 50 calls till March 1st, 2007 only. If he doesn't use his calls, it's gone,
Gateway does it. Yeah.
right? Sometimes entitlements are three visits, right? And when one visit is happened, then entitlement should reduce to 2, right? When somebody is using the calls, entitlement should reduce by 1 every time the person makes a call, right? So that is the reason, like Siebel has an entitlements model. First of all, Siebel has an agreements model, right? And as part of the agreement, the main thing is entitlements. What all entitlements does he have, right? Current quota, you can put the quota here, whatever you put here, that is what he will get. Initial quota cannot be more than, so let's say initial quota 10, right?
What's mean by quota?
How many calls he can make
Okay.
of whatever thing, right? You need to study, you know, in your whenever you go to a client, you need to study how they are managing this thing. It will be, these things are way off. Siebel is not a very good asset management module.
Okay.
See, that's what I'm saying. See, Siebel does not compete. Siebel cannot compete with any company which is just catering to a particular model. So there are some very good, some companies which are catering to asset management modules. Siebel cannot compete with them. They will be having all the elaborate functionalities related to assets.
Yeah.
But Siebel, good part of Siebel is integrated.
Sure.
How you understand what entitlements mean? You also understand what is an, by the way, agreement is contract. In Siebel, contract is called as an agreement. Okay. Okay. So
So what is this any definition for entitlement?
Or a contract.
see, so agreement is kind of a very big thing. It's a, you know, it's a huge agreement, whatever. But there are some key points in that. Who is buying? What is buying? That's all objective information. All these things will be in the form of a record. Important thing will be how many years of service is he buying. All that will be in the form of a big agreement. But somewhere in Siebel there will be only one record. That this is 1 year he has got. Siebel does not need to keep track of the complete PDF document that is there. Actually, even they don't do any of these things even now. Dell doesn't send you a contract, right? But there is a contract there. Okay. If you want, you can get a copy of the contract also from them. It's very simple, 1 year service, right? Anyway, so those things are not the part of the header. He might be having 2-3 entitlements, right? He might be having 5 personal visits, 2 at-home visits, 3 at the depot visits, 20 calls within 1 year, right? Sometimes entitlements are very complex. If within 1 year all are not consumed, only these will be carried over to the second year. Only these X calls, maybe 30% of the entitlements will be carried over to the next year. Or these entitlements, for example, let's say visits cannot be carried over to the next year. So entitlements can be very complex for a particular asset. Okay. Siebel does not do all these things. Siebel doesn't. So if you want to provide all these things in Siebel, you gotta customize Siebel a lot. That's what Nestle will be doing, because Nestle is providing asset functionality a lot. That's what they use it for, and they will be having all these things, and they will be providing like service and billing for so many products that they're not only consumer goods. They sell many things which are asset based parts. We call these things as asset based parts. Okay. There is one more thing that I want you to learn when it comes to asset based assets. This is how you spell entitlements. This is how you spell agreements. Agreements in Siebel is same as contract in the real world. If somebody says I want to have contract management functionality in Siebel, we should understand that he's talking about agreements. right?
Agreement.
Right. For every agreement in the database, there will be various entitlements depending upon the product the asset associated with that agreement. Okay. There is a very important area in assets. See, sometimes like you sell more products based on the asset the person has purchased. For example, Dell, when they are selling the the when the customer when they're, let's say they want to sell the battery for the purchased laptop, will they be selling the battery for any, they will say just buy this, we have 25 batteries, or they'll say this particular battery is for your laptop, would you like to buy one more? Or will they do like this, we have 25 different types of batteries, which one would you like? No, right? So the kind of products that you can sell to the person is dependent upon the asset that he already has purchased. Is it right? Is it right? So you can have multiple opportunities, upsell and cross-sell opportunities based on the asset. Is it right? Let's first understand what are the various gamuts. One of the things is, other thing is, sometimes we actually modify the asset also. Let's say as part of the asset record, see in this case there will be somewhere in the database of Dell, it will be written for this particular model number, this was the exact hard disk that was put in this was the exact RAM, not only the specification, this is the exact asset number they have to remember, what are sub assets of that asset. Okay, so let's say the RAM is gone, right? So they have to now order a new RAM with linked with this asset. It cannot be an independent order. So there are sometimes their orders are linked with your assets. The customer's orders are linked with the customer's assets. Is it right? So whenever we have to provide this functionality, it's kind of a little complex because the order will be having asset as one of the things in it, right? So various scenarios are modify existing asset. Okay, let's say he's already purchased RAM, his RAM is gone, now you send him a new RAM. Or maybe he was having 256 MB RAM, now you are selling him 101 GB RAM. After 1 year he says I want 1 GB RAM. So it is an asset based ordering. So you will look at the asset that he has, you will renew his contract if it is applicable, and then send him that new order. So his contract will get renewed, his asset record will get renewed, will get modified, right? Is it right? So that's one type of. Other thing is, you might give him a new item, for example a new cord. Let's say he wants an extra power cord, one for his office, one for his home. He already has one for his home. So that's a new item. But still you have to remember that he has, right? He might be asking for an extra battery. So that's again an asset based ordering. Other thing is revise existing order. He bought one asset, right? And he sends it back. You send him another laptop. Does it happen with you that the laptop that you got from Dell was not working properly? It has worked with me. Hello. A very important question that I would like to ask at this stage is, let's say one company has 1 million these projectors MP620p. Okay. Right? If they have 1 million of these in their stock, how many records do you think they will have in their product database? In their product database, not in the line items. Product database.
Product database, it is the same model, only one. Quantity number 1 million.
With quantity number, so we'll be having 1 million, one record with quantity equal to 1 million. Then we sell them one by one, or we sell it to one person all million. Okay, let's say it this way. So his order line item will be one line item and then 1 million. But how many assets will be in the database now?
1 million. One.
Yes. Because for everyone we'll be providing service separately.
Yeah. So 1 million will be there.
Yeah. Right?
That is what, okay, yeah.
That clarifies the asset and the product. Whenever you are describing asset to anybody, okay. So after this long discussion, what we learn is, in the whole business process of selling and servicing, at some point of time, the product is more important. For example, during the time of ordering, you put the order in the order, you put the product information, the exact model number to the minutest detail, but you don't enter the instance. After some time, instance becomes more important because you provide the support and service against that instance. You do the billing against that instance, right? Then we picked one Nestle, and then we picked Yahoo. In case of Yahoo, the assets are the ads that they are that they're selling to the customers, right? That they are the ads, that the sponsor links, and all those things that they are selling, right? So and so forth. In case of Nestle, those vending machines that they are putting on various places, they have to manage those. In fact, they haven't even sold those assets. Have they sold those assets to somebody? No. So that means there was no order, but the service has to be provided against something that belongs to company, right? Against something. So service has to be provided against this something, whether it belongs to company or not. Somebody has to keep track where the machines are lying, what kind of service needs to be done periodically, how much, and what is the cost. And there are so many things around assets. By the way, there is a cost of asset management, right? So that is also a very important thing. Right? So your whole customer life cycle really is dependent upon all that. Okay, so now we have done that. Now we come back to this again, this thing, this diagram. So we see that we sometimes modify existing assets. That is a kind of functionality that we need in Siebel. We sometimes add a new item to the existing asset. Sometimes we revise the existing order. Whatever order is there, we just simply change it, right? Like I said, that somebody buys a laptop, after 5 days it comes back, we just change give him the new laptop, right? So that means we are revising that same order. So we have to deassociate that asset from that order. Product will remain the same, and we have to give him a new asset. So all these things are called as asset-based ordering. Okay, you will be having that. You have this Siebel order management guide. In this, there is an asset-based ordering. You make a search in Siebel bookshelf, you will be able to you will be able to easily find where I am. So that's not a big deal. But you understand now. That's big high-level thing I wanted you to understand. See. Okay. One other thing is assets can be both tangible products or intangible products like services. Sometimes in our business language we call it products or services, but again all these things will be set up as products in Siebel database, right?
Product.
Tangible. See, tangible means what you can touch. Long distance service. Can you touch long distance service? But okay, so in the business world we call those as products and services. In case of Siebel, they are all products. Okay, local.
So it is not tangible.
Yeah, it's not tangible, but everything is called as products in Siebel. Okay, so you have to see, whether it is a physical machine that has been installed there or whether it's a service or something, right? In case of Nestle, there is a physical machine that's installed, and they must have bought some kind of service also, whether they want weekly replenishment or they want monthly replenishment. Obviously cost is different for both of these, right? So that is also one another product that they purchased. I will be putting 2 line items in the order, not 1. You know what is a line item in the order, right? Do you know what is a quote? What is a quote? So we call it opportunity to quote to order process. Okay, so there are 2-3 processes that you need to know. Opportunity to order. I'm ending the asset chapter right now. We'll now discuss the opportunity to order and quote to order processes.